All right, ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, TV5 Chanute with Chris Conklin. Camera, yes. This is February 20th, 2016 at Mel's on Main. Scene 1, take now.
And they only take.
And they only take.
Only take. Hey, if you happen to recognize this person, it might be because you saw the movie Napoleon Dynamite.
Wait, Chris.
Wait,
hold on.
The wrong
Chris,
one?
This is the.
Not the.
No. My name is Tom Heater.
Oh, okay. So you're that Cloverleaf kind of guy.
Cloverleaf is exactly right. How to Drain Your Dragon, I was in.
Okay, then.
Big Sub Sandwich 6, that was also one.
Yeah.
She's Just Not That Into a League of Their Own. You might have seen me in that. And most recently in Very Sick Baby Pool. Not Deadpool.
It's Baby Pool, not Deadpool?
Yes.
All right. So now, if I understand correctly, She's Out of Your League was kind of an up and down roller coaster for you to the point where you got turned down, then they offered it to you and you almost turned them down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, I went in and they said, oh, we're going in a different direction. So I said, okay. And then they came back to me and said, actually, we'd like you to do it. This was post Cloverleaf, as you said. Mm-hmm. And, excuse me. So it's post Cloverfield. And I said, we'd like you to do it. And I read the script again. I thought, I don't know about this. So then I went to tell them, no, I don't think so. And then after sort of a discussion about what I could do with the part, mm-hmm. I said, yeah, let's go for this. And that ended up being, I think it was in Kansas City last night that I was at a Hertz rental company and I didn't have a credit card because my wife and I are real disasters. As you can see from that stumble dumble I just did right there verbally.
And she'll be watching this,
Yeah,
so you gotta watch yourself.
That's right. She's a big TV5 Chanute fan. That's true. And so I didn't have a credit card, and thank goodness, because I couldn't have rented a car except the girl at the counter, the lovely young lady at the Hertz, actually said, hey, we don't usually do this, take a credit card by, photograph. Mm-hmm. So I just want you to know She's Out of My League is my favorite movie. So and I love that. Like, if you like She's Out of My League enough, you'll commit a crime.
There you go.
But I guess she was quitting next week, so she said, So I took a picture and I gave her a Deadpool comic and signed it.
Nice.
And I said, take that to Korea.
Very good.
Which is where she was going. That's not what I say when I give people autographs. I'm like, you can take that to Korea, buddy.
And you're kind of international yourself too. I understand you did some work in Peru, and you're very fluent in that dialect of Spanish.
Yeah, so I speak Argentinian Spanish, which is Castellano, which the only difference is ellos hablan así, so muy suave. So it's just got a different accent, but it's pretty much the same.
That sounds more French to me, but it's all Greek.
It's all Greek to French, people. And I spent some time in Peru and was with my wife actually, and we were doing a medical mission there. So that's sort of a non-religious medical assistance project where we go in and give free medical aid. And I was translating for surgeons, and my wife was sort of a runner and orderly in the surgery rooms. It was pretty rewarding.
So you kept your right from left good? I mean, you're not dyslexic in that regard? Where
no, not.
You translated the wrong leg or?
At one point, I had a dictionary with me, and at one point, I had to flip through because I had forgotten the word for anesthesia, which is pretty important when you're giving surgery. So they're like, how much, what do we need now? And I was like, and then I think it was like anesthesia. Like it was exactly, I could have just said anesthesia.
Yeah.
So that was a high pressure thing, but very rewarding. And something that Kate and I do a lot is try and do just outreach stuff that isn't like, we're so blessed to be in Hollywood, and so we like to go and like help people in other countries. We just really find that that is as rewarding as anything we do. And also, both of us get a real kick out of helping others. That's a big reason why I'm a comedian. I'm big into this altruistic, public servant attitude towards comedy, that life is fundamentally tragic, and everyone has tragic incidents that permeate their everyday life, and for the most part, life is a real mess. And so comedy is this great way.
Society.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of the ways comedy can sort of lift you out of all that. Mm-hmm. For, in my case, 15 minutes, an hour and a half, depends on the medium of comedy that I'm doing. 30 seconds if we're talking shock top.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
And so comedy for me is exactly that. It's like, going to places and making people laugh that maybe wouldn't have access to stand-up. That's a reason I'm here in Chanute. Or, if I'm doing a huge movie like Transformers 4, that's because I'll never do stand-up, or no one in China will ever. But I can reach a lot of Chinese people, a lot of people internationally. That's my big demo. It's China. That's where
everything comes.
That's
from
where
China.
this was made, actually. Yeah. Hey, Chris, un-American. Okay. No, but I really, so I try and do all different mediums, advertising, voiceover, like in the cartoon films and television series, stand-up comedy, sketch, writing, acting on television, film. The list goes on, but I think only for 3 more things. And that's been the impetus behind this mission statement of like, people need to laugh, and not just in the cliche way. You gotta laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. It is vital
That is your
in
anesthesia.
this world of sort of post-meaning, post-religious modern anxiety.
Yeah. Now you had an interesting.
As you can see, I keep it light.
Yeah, keep it light. Come on in. We have a fan base going. Yeah. Drinking problem there?
Yes, exactly. I always spill when I'm thinking about the movie Airplane.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
There you
Roger.
Roger.
Yeah.
Chris, I'll thank you not to be funnier than the interviewee. Thank you.
Oh, it depends upon whether you spend any time on a Turkish Persian or not.
That's right.
I mean,
Exactly.
That's the only way it goes.
Yeah.
JJ Abrams.
Another guy with initials. I offended him at some event in San Francisco.
You didn't offend him. You were just lost.
I was very lost with it. I got lost in his eyes. No, I mean, from Cloverfield now to where I am now, I saw him after hosting the Critics' Choice Awards, and it was this great moment where I'm an absurdist and completely ridiculous. So I'm in an astronaut outfit, and I'm walking through the crowd, and I see JJ, and I say to him, "Hey, I'm sorry if I," and he goes, "What are you talking about? This is so great." He loved the Critics' Choice Awards. And he is one of those geniuses like Steven Spielberg, who is also really nice and kind and thoughtful and empathetic.
So,
And short.
yeah, and you're 6'1" and a
I
half.
didn't see him at first. I was looking around, I go, JJ, where are you? And then he
Yeah,
bit my thigh.
Oh, well, you got to get somebody's attention somehow, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're 6'1" and a half, 6'2" with the hair.
Right, 6'3" for reals, when I'm not hunching.
Oh, there you go. And before we talk about Chanute, how did you meet Kate? Or how did she meet
Well, I
you?
like you leading in with the height. What happened was she was looking around, she looked up, she goes, "Oh my God, you look like an ogre." I was like, "You look like a small princess. Would you like to have a
Well, there
fairy
you
tale
go.
ending?" Would you like to have a fairy tale ending? And then we did. We met in college. We were in a little musical called Chorus Line, where she played the ballet dancer, because she actually is a ballet dancer, and I played the black guy, Richie, because I went to a school that was primarily black and Latino. I'm not sure how that ended up happening. I think it was the only one that had no singing and no dancing. And I tried to woo her. It did not work at first. I said to her, "Hey, so are you a freshman?" And she said, "No, I'm a junior." But so we met in college, and Kate was just, she's just one of those people where I saw her and I thought, well, golly, she's gorgeous. And then I met her and I was like, wow, she's charismatic. And then I talked to her and I go, geez, she's intelligent. And then, she went home with me one night and I go, boy, she has low standards. I better marry this. So she said yes to me staying away from her for 2 years. And then, so we dated through college and after college. And one of the biggest days for us in terms of like, we're getting married, we're being family, was when I introduced her to my Uncle Kenny, who is born and raised in Chanute, lives in his parents' house on Allen Street, and he's sort of the overarching patriarch of our family. And so everybody, much respect to him. He is the reason for everyone in the family's success. He is sort of the steadfast, father figure for all of us. And so you don't introduce somebody, this is well known in the family, you do not introduce somebody to Uncle Kenny unless they're going to be a permanent fixture in your life.
Oh, wow.
And so when that time came, I introduced her to him, and he's very funny. They had a great conversation, and when she left to go to the bathroom, I think, or something, and he said, gosh, she has a beautiful voice. And I said, yeah. He goes, it's like an angel. And I said, yeah. And she goes, but she is ugly as sin. And I just was laughing and laughing. But of course he was kidding. He said, we always say about Uncle Kenny that everyone in town loves him because anyone he meets, he has a kind word for them. He asked them a question about themselves. And I told him that because I said something like that to the Chanute Tribune. And Uncle Kenny said, well, not if they owe me money. So he's just this 90-year-old man who's still as sharp as ever. And he's sort of made my family, and especially me, fall in love with Chanute. I mean, I am a frequent visitor of the Martin and Osa Johnson Safari Museum, and I own all of their DVDs. And so, it's not even that. It's just, I bought a ring for Kate that was sort of we're engaged to be engaged ring at Al's Jewelry on the corner there. And, Kenny and I have had most of our meals at Benchwarmers, which now thankfully is Playmakers, another Mel's establishment. And Mel and Earl have been so supportive of me, just in Chanute, just being nice to me, always welcoming me, making sure Kenny always feels comfortable, and then now doing this show. And so they've come to kind of be family to me. I'm not very fond of their son Chase. He's kind of abrasive.
There's
difficult
always a
to be
black
around.
sheep in every family.
Black sheep is an understatement. I mean, he is a dark gray matter of almost like a bovine cross between a ram, and it's hard to look at him. But I do try and suffer his indignities, and outside of that, I enjoy the family a lot.
Well, that's really good. Now, is Kate going to continue her acting?
Well, what's interesting about Kate is that she's an artist, so acting is something that she does, and if something's interesting to her, she does that. But she's publishing a poetry book, which is this weird boutique poetry. It's like 250, but they're this big, and each one of them, she does art within it, and she sews the pages and that stuff. Then as a painter, she's showed in Los Angeles and New York. As I mentioned, she's a ballet dancer, so she does a lot of dance. She produces film shoots, she produces photo shoots. She's kind of one of those people that's a Renaissance person that you hate because you can only do comedy. It's very frustrating to be around.
Well, and she's a former Ford model, too.
She is a former Ford model, and I think that was a good moment in her life and mine when she said, I don't think that I want to be a model. I think this was my childhood dream, and now that I understand the reality of it, I kind of want to step away from it.
Right.
And so now the stuff that she's doing is much more, I think, fulfilling for her. And it's cool for me because I exist only in Hollywood and in stand-up. And so I don't get to see the Andy Warholian, world of New York City. I don't get to suddenly walk into an underground exhibition that you have to crawl through a tunnel to see an indoor forest that has all of the paintings hanging from the trees. I mean, it is really weird what she's into. So sometimes it's nice to just be in Chanute without her and be like, I'll have a buffalo chicken sandwich place.
It sounds like you need to go to Tampa to the Salvador Museum.
I know, right? Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. Okay, we were...
Not Tampa, but the Salvador Museum.
Yeah, the air, something like that. Deadpool, or the baby pool as you like to call it. You had a pretty good role in that.
Yeah.
How was it working with Ryan Reynolds?
Well, Deadpool, I mean, what happened? Can we just, all of us watching, how did that happen? Because I got the script, they said they'd like you to play Weasel. The script was literally my sides, which I found out weren't real, and a cover page. And I said, what is this? And they said, it's a Marvel movie. And I said, what's it about? And they go, we can't tell you. And I said, well, what's my part in it? And they were like, we can't really tell you. And I said, well, is it a superhero comic book movie? And they go, yeah, but it's R-rated. And I said, I'm listening. And what it came down to was it was between two movies. Zach and David and Mike need a wedding R-rated movie date, or whatever that movie is, with Zac Efron and Adam Devine. Who both, I like Adam Devine, I don't know Zac Efron. But it was between that and Deadpool. And I thought, an R-rated movie with a comedian. Zac Efron is not a comedian, but Ryan Reynolds is. And the first Marvel comic book movie to be R-rated. And I said, this probably won't work, but at least it's more in line with my sensibility. Then when I read the script, when we made the film, at best I thought, oh, we'll be really lucky and happy with a $40 million opening. If we get 60 million, it could be a success. It could change the superhero genre landscape. They would be open to new R-rated films. Superhero movies could be darker. So let's really gun for 60 million. That was my hope.
And you're 4 times that.
I mean, we made that by Saturday morning or something, or Friday night, and then we just skyrocketed, and it's going to be 80 million. Then a few hours later, I think actually 3 hours later, no, it's 90 million. Then it was 100 million. Then, by Sunday they're going, this is going to be 135 by the end of the night, and it was, and then I think it landed at 150 million, and now we've broken 200 million, or on our way to that. It's the highest, it just shattered records. Highest R-rated comedy opening for President's Day, for February. The highest R-rated movie opening of all time, beating The Matrix Reloaded in 2003. Now we're on track to be the highest R-rated movie in terms of box office ever. We beat Star Wars. Do you hear this, JJ Abrams? We beat Star Wars in Russia.
Ooh,
so in Russia, they were like, Star Wars? Well, this is my Russian accent. Star Wars? No thanks. I like Deadpool. Not a great one. But yeah, I mean, 100%, absolutely out of the blue, never could have imagined it. And really excited because also it is a comedy. Like, people laugh all the way through. And so the joke in the opening credits is that I'm billed as comic relief. But really the whole movie is funny. So even that is ironic, that like in another movie, like Transformers, I would be the comic relief. But in this one, I'm just more of the comedy. But it's great because although Ryan is carrying a lot of the comedy, he has to carry the cancer through line and the serious and all I had to do was sort of show up and play the comedy subtly enough or underplay it enough to let Ryan kind of bounce off of it. And so we had a pretty cool chemistry, and I think it worked out. But to have them, they greenlit the second one. I'm under contract for a Weasel spinoff, which who knows what that would be. But yeah, so that was, that was a real surprise to me, but yet another kind of project that I said, I'm going to be involved in this because I think it's going to be great, and then it was.
Yeah, and you were in the trailer.
Yeah, I was in the trailer, that's right.
Yeah. Let's talk a little
That's
bit.
a guy who really does his research. He's like, and you were in the trailer.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer.
I saw
I haven't seen the
trailer.
film, but I saw the trailer.
And I didn't blink.
Did not blink, right.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you blink 3 times, you would have missed me. At the movie, you have to blink 5 times.
There you go. But then again, you can rewind now because they have that DVR function.
Not
and then
necessarily
pause.
when you're in the theater. That's a little tough.
Well, that's a little bit difficult. And
you got to know the projector. Projectionist.
Now, your personality is that you can see yourself on screen. You can watch yourself on TV, where a lot of actors cannot do that.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? I mean when
I
you
think,
see yourself.
I think it comes down to, can we cuss on this program or no? No.
For the DVD release, yeah.
For the DVD release?
Yeah.
I don't care. I have a big thing where I am a nihilist, and that's not like just using a word randomly. I'm a positive nihilist, so I think it's great that nothing means anything. That means that you can create your own meaning. You have the freedom to make life be anything that you want it to be, and anything that you're doing, you can make that the most important thing in the world, or you can complain about it, but that's completely your choice. And everybody, like I mentioned before, it's like, in my position, my life has a lot of terrible elements to it. I don't have a great relationship with my family right now, largely because of the fame thing. Fame is very alienating and isolating. Hollywood is an empty place to live. Los Angeles is a terrible city. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and be like, your jawline is that of a horse. So, my feeling is that if none of this means anything, and it's all kind of a joke, again, being a comedian and absurdist, then who cares what I look like on screen? The only thing that matters to me is that people like the work that I'm doing and think it's funny. Or even if some people don't think it's funny, at least it's polarizing enough. They're like, that was weird and I don't like it. Ugh, I don't know about that. I don't want to ever see that again. That's okay for me too, because at least they garner something from that experience rather than leaving a lot of these superhero movies going, all right, yeah, that was good. It's just, we're in a trance for so much of this. So I sort of laugh even when I get bad reviews on IMDb or something.
Right.
It makes me laugh, the idea of somebody taking time to spout an opinion about me. Because as you can see from me right here, it's like, I don't care. And I don't think a lot of other people are like, they said he really ruined Transformers. It's like, well, sorry I messed up that cinematic piece of like brilliant artwork, but you know, that's the deal.
It is.
Yeah, so I'm not too concerned with that. I actually, bringing it back to Chanute, this is one of the first shows that I've been sort of anxious about and thinking, all right, what kind of stuff is going to work here? What will people like? Going back into stuff that I haven't done in a while just because I think people enjoy it here and they probably haven't seen it. And that's because, you know, my Uncle Kenny has lived here his whole life. Olson Mercantile, which gave way to Roosters, which gave way to the Save a lot, which gave way to the Stab a lot, I think.
Something
I probably
like that,
should not say that. But, you know, my great uncle has been here since Olson Mercantile started in 1904. He's been here helping to grow that grocery store. So in Southeast Kansas, my family was deeply embedded in the culture. And, you know, I come to Chanute quite a bit. And if I bomb tonight, I will not be able to, I'll be exiled to Thayer.
Yeah, but you know what?
Or worse and more eerie, Humboldt.
Yeah, oh, there's Earlton too.
Yeah, oh boy. No, but I love all the surrounding areas. There used to be an Olson grocery store in Erie. We have friends that live in Erie. We go to Thayer a lot because we eat there.
The steaks.
Yeah, that was the great steaks in Thayer. So, you know, this was a show that I really wanted to go well. And so I hope it does. I think it will.
Yeah, it should be fantastic. One last thing before we wrap this up.
Of course.
Your Super Bowl commercial. Now,
Hold on, let me switch drinks.
uh-oh. Yeah, you have to support the beer.
Super
now.
Bowl question, take one.
You are a very impromptu type of a person. How much of that was just winging it?
All of the things I'm doing now are scripted.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we know.
No, I mean, you know, quite a bit was scripted, but only in the sense that it was a foundation for us to work off of and improvise a lot. And by now, if you hire me in Hollywood, then you know that I'm gonna improvise. So yeah, I mean, quite a few of the good lines in Deadpool, and even in Cloverfield, in the Shock Top ad, those are ones that I riffed or wrote. And you know, yeah, so I try, and tonight I'm gonna do a lot of riffing, especially because I know Chanute well enough to really talk about it. So we're really gonna get into my grain bin material bin.
Hey, we're growing quite an audience in here.
I know, here we go. Well, probably.
Probably ready to go. They're all telling you, come on, let's wrap this up. Anything else you want to tell Chanute before we do this?
Well, you know, Chanute, thank you guys for welcoming me so much. I go to a lot of places in the United States. I perform all over the country, and I've worked in Kansas all over. And I just went nuts when KU won tonight. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. My parents, most of my family went to KU, and then some of them went to Manhattan, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, Chanute, for welcoming me and for being so friendly and for being such a special little safari city. I really think that there's something incredible about it. It kind of makes sense that man's birth of flight happened here. It kind of makes sense that everybody who's from here is so sweet, and certainly makes sense that my Uncle Kenny is from here, because I don't think I've met a wiser, more thoughtful, deeper, kinder individual, and I think that's got Chanute written all over it.
Thanks for coming, TJ.
Thank you.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you, Chanute. Enjoy the show, and if this is terrible, then the people who are here will watch this and be like, ugh, that guy.
And don't invite him back.
End of Chanute interview, take nothing.